Hi. Hang on. I hang on.
Hello and welcome to the Otter's Den. Grab your favorite beverage and snacks, grab a seat, and delve into the known and the unknown. We have shows every other Monday and every other Monday. Let me explain. One Monday, Joni and I discuss the current astrology, how it affects us both on personal, countrywide, and global scales, and then how to navigate through it all to improve our overall quality of life. The next Monday, Jan and Renee join me as we discuss, well, everything. This includes the paranormal, cryptids, psychic abilities, hauntings, attachment, possessions, aliens, abductions, self help, life coaching, mental health, personal health, and the list goes on. Thank you in advance for joining us. Now it's time to sit back and enjoy.
Hi.
Happy Monday.
Happy freaking Monday.
Happy Aries apocalypse.
Oh God, yes.
Happy Aries apocalypse. We're almost through it.
We're doing good. I'm doing
Great.
good.
I'm doing great. It's an Aries rising. I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm impressed with myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm doing pretty good.
I mean I'm busy. I'm getting a lot of stuff done. I'm staying focused. I'm trying to get things I'm just but I can I have a lot more energy than I usually do.
Good. Good.
But it's I think a lot of people, I'm busy. I'm busier with charts than I've really ever been. I should get caught up this week, but that's all I'm doing is people's natal charts. And so when
That's
you
a lot of
do
work.
that, it's a lot of work. It takes me about a week to do one, and I take a lot of time with it. And I look up stuff. But people are going through a lot right now. If they don't understand what's going on, so you just it's hard to explain to people. This is like we've never seen before. It doesn't sink in.
Right.
It people they know something's weird. They know something's going on, but it's not connecting. You can see it's like a light bulb is not going off. It's like, and I don't know if it's because they don't study astrology and realize how huge it is. I don't know. I don't get it.
It's I don't think you're wrong there.
But they know something's happening, but they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And so it's like when you try to tell somebody, well, we haven't seen this for 14,000 years, they look at me like I'm stupid. It's like, what are you talking about? So it's hard to explain it to people, kind of, but it is, but it isn't. It's like, hey, astrology does not predict the future.
No, it just explains what's going on now, and we can use the past to predict what's happening now.
Yeah, because for example, I may have this wrong.
Denise,
the last Uranus is moving this week, which is going to be one of the biggest, most gigantic shifts of energy we've ever felt. The 25th. Really. Well, because this what happened. Uranus has been in Taurus for 7 years. It's Taurus. He doesn't like it there. He's in what's called the fall. He doesn't do well in Taurus because Uranus is like the wild card. He likes to be like throw lightning rods, and he's just crazy and chaotic. And it's like, get out of my way.
You think?
Well, yeah. And in Taurus, it's like steady progress, security, slower paced. and Earth.
Grounded, yeah, grounded. So they're butting heads.
Oh yeah. So he's about to get unleashed. And going into Gemini, he likes it. It's fast, it's furious, it's mental. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So he's in a Mercury sign. So sky's the limit. So it's going to be a gigantic shift. So it's just another shift this week of people going, what's happening? I'm in my head. I'm anxious. I can't. What is going on? I'm like a gerbil in a wheel. Blah 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 blah. It's like
a lot of people right now are feeling the urge to just stay home with themselves, not deal with anybody else, and that is the astrology telling them, hey, you need to look within. You need to look within yourself. In order to understand why the things
what are you hiding from
you that are happening to you. You know, it might not necessarily be they're hiding from anybody. Like, okay, I admit it, I hide from people.
Scorpios hide from people. That's just a given.
But I like to stay at home, and I like to think. I like to dive into, okay, this is the way today went. Why did it go this way? And you help with that with the astrology. I can all of a sudden something pops in my head that from 20 years ago. Oh, repeating cycle. Okay, but I handled it in a different way, in a better way today. So I've made growth.
Right.
Spirit gives you the opportunity to look at yourself and understand, hey, I'm better off, even though I might think I'm in the same place. I'm in a better place than I was because I'm making better decisions, better informed decisions. Yeah. I'm not just snapping my fingers in Aries season going.
It's a jolt. I get it. I get why I love staying at home. Home is my happy place, you know, yes. But it really is. It's where I love to be. It's you know, I love it. But I'm not hiding. You know what I mean? I think there's a difference between staying at home and hiding and not. But Aries will push you to do things that you have never done before. So I think sometimes people feel that push and don't know what it is. And it can be frightening.
This weekend, I wanted to get my garden in. I had it in my mind. I was going to put my garden in. Well, I go out. You know, I've got it all tilled already, rows all made.
Yeah.
And I look at it. And I walk around and look at it. Since I tilled it, I've got weeds coming up everywhere. And then I stuck my finger in the soil. And it's nice and warm about an inch down. After that, no, it's too cold yet.
Still cold.
So I had to stop myself.
See?
Keith, what did you do last year? You put it in too early. Yeah. Half the flowers didn't come. Your medicinal herbs and stuff didn't come up. You're going to wait until it dries out. You're going to retill it to get rid of the weeds. And then you're going to do it the right way. You'll put it in when the soil is warm enough. You'll put your ground cloth down as you're doing it. And you're going to be a lot happier. Just have patience.
Yeah. You know, my grandpa's rule of thumb, because he had a beautiful garden, was always after Mother's Day. Never to plant anything until, at least here in our climate, because we have like a frost advisory out tonight.
Yeah.
So you know, you can go up through Mother's Day. Past Mother's Day, you should be okay.
Generally, I'm zone 5, and generally the last frost is advisory. You know, they say the last frost average. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Is around the end of April.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, I drive around Weimar and these people already have, you know, corn this high. I'm like,
they could lose it.
Yeah.
You know,
freeze. That's all it takes.
That's the worst thing. You know, the most I think that you have to be careful for of Aries, and I've read it all, like Don't use power tools. Don't draw. It's like, please, you should always be careful when you're using a freaking power tool for crying out loud.
I use them
You're
every
not
day.
right. If you're not careful with them, you shouldn't be operating them.
Yeah, and the
So-
same goes for heavy machinery.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think the worst thing is like buy impulsive things. I gotta have that now. That's a big Aries thing, and it's
And
a
then-
push of it being impulsive.
And then my Scorpio takes over and says, okay, you really want that right now, but do you need that right now?
Yeah.
Number of years ago, my mom got me like $100 gift card from Walmart for Christmas. And I go in there, I'm going to get myself something. I'm in that store for 3 hours trying to figure out something to get because I don't absolutely need anything that day.
Yeah.
We get something I want. But every time I look at something I want, I'm thinking, okay, how often are you actually going to use that?
Yeah.
How is it going to be 3 years before you use that? And I was in there for so long that the security people came up to me and thought I was ripping them off. So I had to explain the way my brain works, prove that I haven't stolen nothing. And then they're like, oh, okay. And I finally ended up going and getting groceries. It's not something I wanted to get, not something for me. I mean, it was for me, but it wasn't for me. Yeah, I ended up buying groceries. I told mom after that, no more Walmart gift cards.
It's so funny. I'll tell you what, you could get lost in Walmart for 4 hours. I could.
Try spending 3 or 4 hours in Walmart.
I do.
Dealing with the people's energy and the people and then the security. And that's why I just said, you know what? I'm just going to get food and get out of here. So I stocked up on meat and I was out.
We have a beautiful one here. It's real clean too. They just remodeled a lot of it. They've remodeled a couple of them around me and they're very nice.
Nice.
But that's the Aries. But see, this is a Aries on steroids right now. So, but Uranus coming in is going to be a jolt and a half, and that's the 25th. That's in 5 days. So, but it's very exciting.
And
I think it's great. You've got
we got like 6 planets in Aries right now, plus Chiron, and
I don't even know.
4 or 5 of those planets are in an alignment. And you know how the Earth wobbles?
Yeah.
Their wobbles has synchronized all within 5 degrees. So the planets are affecting each other. And then Mars, which is one of them in that alignment, just got hit by like 2 huge solar storms. And that's going to affect that alignment as well. And when we get hit by solar storms, it affects us. It affects the weather. It affects earthquakes and volcanoes. Japan just had a 7.2.
I know. I saw it this morning. I put Uranus in a timeout. And I said, I've been waiting for you and being so proud of you, telling you every morning, you've done good. This is great. I'm so proud of you. And boom, I wake up and my phone 7.4. But it was out in the ocean.
Right. And it did make a tsunami, but it was a very small tsunami.
Right. So
just enough to like knock the boats up against the dock.
Yeah.
But the Japanese, they've got Schumann resonance detectors all over the place. They know how the solar flares can affect it. These guys, these scientists are top notch on this. And they are predicting an 8.0 coming.
Oh, God. Well, we got 5 days.
Scale, like going from 7.2, which you think is huge, and it is, but then you jump to an 8. I mean, it's like 10 times the energy.
Well, I just keep saying, don't do it. Just be good. You go into timeout for a while and think about what you did. Put those little lightning rods back in your pants.
Well, it's happening all over the world. The tectonic plates are acting up. The volcanic activity, the earthquakes,
it's coming.
The storms. I think not Minnesota.
Oh, God.
One of those states up there. I mean, it is just flooded. That state is getting cleansed.
Oh, they're getting creamed with tornadoes too.
Yeah.
We're not getting them. They're
Yeah.
going north.
So far, we've been good. We've had one thunderstorm. It wasn't bad. You know, and I live in Tornado Alley.
Me too. It's gone up through Illinois.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin and Minnesota. It's weird. They're going north. I feel bad for them because it's awful to have to go through that. And you know, every tornado season by now we've been had sirens going off, but knock on wood, we've been really good. Yeah. But you know, this shift, I think, I don't know how to predict money at all, but I think, you know, it's been holding back cryptocurrency. Uranus is decentralization. It's freedom. It's free. It's with Pluto hitting the media right now. Media by I mean CNN and those other channels that nobody watches. They're being taken down. This push into Uranus, the little Nick Shirleys and the kids that are out there doing citizen journalism, which is really what reporters used to do. The kids are doing it now. That is going to skyrocket with Uranus because it's freedom. And they don't like, Uranus doesn't want to be beholden to like a CNN. It's like, I want to be able to tell my piece. Yeah. And Gemini is Mercury, and that's the press. So I think you're going to see that happen. You're going to see breakthrough technologies happen. The UFO stuff is just going to come flooding in.
Yeah.
That's coming.
With technology, I mean, Ukraine just fought an entire battle with drones and robots. Not a single person was in it. They took over a territory of Russia with drones and robots.
It's crazy.
The technology they have, you know, I've been saying this for years. It's 30 years above what they tell us they have.
Oh, yeah.
And now all of a sudden, you know, Trump uses the discombobulator in Venezuela. And
the Terminator.
You know, and then we've got the drones and stuff over there. All this stuff is just popping out. We don't get, hey, we have this now. It's, oh my God, they used this. It's real.
You know, and here he is, Mr. Gemini Sun, Leo rising, on Regulus, star Regulus, and a Sag moon. He can't keep his mouth shut, God love him.
No.
So it comes he's like, we got weapons that nobody even knows what they are. I'm not allowed to talk about them.
Yeah.
See, he can't. I'll bet you those military people look at each other and go, shut him up. And they're like, we can't.
Yep.
You can't.
No.
I get a kick out of it because
I love it.
Well, when you look at somebody's chart and you know there's nothing that will stop that. A Gemini, Leo, Sag. Really? You're gonna tell them to be quiet?
No. Never happened.
It's impossible. And no. And the funny thing is when Mars starts cranking on, you can tell when Mars starts hitting his chart because then he ups it even more.
Yeah.
So, and all that Aries energy is trining his rising. So he's getting amped up even more. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So
you know, they tell him to shut up, and he's like,
"No, you can't.
Hold my Diet Coke."
I think they just laugh and I think you just gotta laugh. I laugh about it, and oh Lord, I thought whenever I see him like tweeting and making those tweets and stuff, I keep thinking somebody take that phone out of his hand. You know what I mean? If I was like his assistant, I'd be like, give me your phone. But it's hilarious.
You gotta love it though.
I do. I think it's funny.
He does it on purpose. He does it to trigger reactions.
Yeah.
Because he will say one thing, knowing full length He's doing the exact opposite, but he wants to trigger these
The
these media people
trolls. The
into
trolls.
making false allegations. And then when he actually does what he wanted to do, hey, look what I did.
Hey, I like
Yeah,
it because I like unique people that aren't afraid to be themselves. I like people that it's like, this is me, love it or leave it. I don't care. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And I like people that are genuine. I mean,
And-
there's no facade. There's nothing.
The man uses the language that he wants to.
Well,
He says shit. He says fuck. He says these things. What
Well-
president has said this before? You gotta love it.
I think well, they all have been doing it lately. I mean, all of them start cursing up a storm, and I'm like, that's not very.
Yeah, but who started it? Oh,
Pro-
Denise had some snowflakes. Yeah, I hope it warms up. Otherwise, those shrooms ain't gonna do very good. But
Oh
you gotta love
no!
it. The mem for a long time when our last president was, I sure could do with some mean tweets and cheap gas right now. It was funny, and then gas went from like over $5 a gallon here down to just a hair over $2.
Yeah.
And then, yes, it did go back up when, the war started. But then when he opened the strait, it dropped from 140 to 89. He knows how this is going to work. He knows.
Yeah, everybody does.
should know that the price of gas in your area also has to do with all of your state and local taxes.
I don't get how do people not know this?
Fuel tax.
How do they not get this?
Okay. And when these oil companies, they know what they're doing. And
They're happy.
It's the oil companies that are keeping the prices high. It's the gas stations that are keeping the prices high. Reason being, if you buy 2,000 gallons of gasoline to fill your underground tank at $3.89 a gallon, okay, you're selling it for $4.02. They don't make much. Believe it or not, they don't make much on a gallon.
No, they don't.
They need to sell all of that at that price so they don't take a loss. They got to keep the doors open. So then when the next tanker comes in at a lower price, then they can lower their price. It's the same thing with grocery stores. They will buy, like during Thanksgiving, I had to order at Econo Foods, the grocery store I worked for, and mayonnaise. I would buy 200 cases of mayonnaise at this price. Okay. Well, say we only go through 180 of them. So we got 20 cases left. And then all of a sudden the price goes down for some reason. Well, we're still at that price until those cases are gone. And then we can drop the price. It's not just in the gas stations, in gas and oil. And hang on. Notice when the gas jumps up $2 a gallon, you're still spending the same price on a quart of oil.
That's right.
And how does that make sense? They're raising the price of gas because they know they got you by the tail, but you don't have to change your oil. You have to have fuel to get to work, but you don't have to change your oil. It's a very good idea to, just saying, as a mechanic. Yeah. But the price of the oil does not go up, but the price of the gasoline and the diesel goes up. One of those reasons is making those two fuels takes a lot more energy, a lot more time, a lot more money to refine. Diesel is actually a byproduct of making gasoline and these other products. So it should actually be way cheaper because it's a byproduct. But no, they take
Matt and I just had that conversation because he's got that big diesel truck and he's like, it's actually cheaper for diesel.
Yep.
To be, but look what they put it up at, But
semis, trains, the heart of the infrastructure of transportation of products all use diesel. So they crack that price up and make that money. It's not Trump's fault.
I'm trying to think where Neptune is gas, right? Neptune is gas, and that's
so.
in Aries. So I don't know. I'll have to look at that, but I do know that in the United States chart, what's going to be interesting is Uranus moves into the 7th house. That's open enemies.
Mm.
Open enemies. Not 12th house is hidden enemies. We are going to see enemies that we didn't know were enemies are now going to be brought out in the open.
Well, notice how when Trump began this campaign, that's what I'm calling it as a campaign, he asked other members of NATO and our allies, hey, come help us with this. You'll benefit. Yeah. They said no. We would jump to help you at the drop of a hat, but you're telling us no. That's going to cause some problems.
As it should. As it should. Well, you know what? And the only thing that they were asking was, hey, can we use the airspace and land where our bases are to begin with?
Yeah.
You know what? You don't allow us to land in our bases. Guess what? And we don't need a base there.
They said no. Yeah.
Trump, we don't need a base there.
Trump wants all of our bases out of the Middle East.
Get them out. Get them out.
He wants control over our half of the hemisphere. He wants to protect our half of the hemisphere.
Get them out.
Let Russia protect the other half of the hemisphere. And I know somebody's going to go there. Do your homework on Putin and Russia and what they're actually standing for and actually doing, why they actually went into Ukraine. It was to take out 51 biolabs that they were hiding in Ukraine. It was to take out the people that were trafficking the children and the females.
Well, all you have to do is go to the UN and listen to the speeches and look at what was going on at the time. All the documentation is there. They have films of it. They have films of them burning up the labs, destroying everything in the labs. Don't take Meyer your word for it. Go look it up yourself.
Yeah, and Iran had just got done. They're still doing it. Right before he went in, they killed 15,000 protesters. They were running over them.
No, it's 45,000.
Okay.
We're up to 45,000 people.
They were running over these people with tanks because they didn't want Sharia law in their country.
That's right. Young people. It was young people.
It's crazy over there. And if you're just upset about this because your gas went up, you might be part of the problem. I said what I said.
Well, here's the thing. If you look at what gas was from 2020 to 2024, it was on average $3.60 a gallon for an average. It did spike up to $5 a gallon in 2022. So it was where it's at now, like at our house is $3.50, is where it was on average from 2020 to 2024. So it's not anything that we're not used to.
Yeah, during the last president's.
I don't get it, but
people just want to blame Trump. They want to blame him for everything.
I don't listen to it. I don't pay attention to that. I do my own. I look at my own stuff, but people should, with Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries, start to be seeing things a lot clearer.
Yeah.
And being able to see those things. Now,
the fog's going to race.
With that being said, that might be, a lot of that is, people just don't want to see the truth, a lot of the truth. I don't know what else you call it.
Cognitive dissonance is what you call it. It is when somebody has been brainwashed so bad that they cannot, or they just haven't done their own shadow work enough that they cannot admit that they allowed the media, others to lie to them, and they believed it. And even though the proof is right in front of them in black and white, 110%, they will not change their view because they would have to admit to themselves that they were mistaken and wrong. And they would have to admit that to themselves, and they can't do it. It's called cognitive dissonance.
Well, I said a lot of that. I said a lot of that in 2020. I was like, that didn't happen. No way. And then I started doing my own research and found out differently.
Yeah, that's
and
why
so I was like, I was totally wrong about everything. But that didn't bother me to be wrong. I was glad I found out the truth. Nothing wrong with being wrong or listening to CNN and believing them. As long as you know now that they're not telling the truth. They're not.
I have jumped on stories and they were false. And I have to say, okay, you know what? I jumped on this.
Me too.
Not the truth. This is actually the case. Sorry about it.
I know. I did too.
Sometimes I'll share a story and I'll put in the comment section, when you're sharing, hey, I'm sharing this so I can, it's on my profile so I can look at it closer later. I don't say it's true. I'm saying I want to look at this closer later. And what's interesting is, I look at Ben Swan a lot and I look at some other people a lot. And lately, Ben Swan's view has been 180 from these other people. So I'm really looking at that. I don't know if somebody got to him or got to other people, or if they're just getting their information from different places.
I don't know who he is.
I'm holding off on making a judgment because I want more information. I want to do my homework.
Well, I think a lot of these people get brought out too. Who knows? But let me tell you, we've got we got cryptocurrency. I think it'll spike, but I'm not sure. It'll do something on the 25th moving forward. It's going to do something, right?
It's driving me nuts because
it will.
Mine will, it'll drop and then all of a sudden it'll jump back up.
Yeah.
About, $200 from where it was when I bought it. Okay. I'm like, you know what? I should probably just sell that and then rebuy it when it drops again. And Spirit says, no, child.
Nope.
Let it ride.
Let it ride.
Okay. So it's just doing the up and down according to what's going on.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's going to, if you want to make some money, if you got some money, and if you want to make more money, what you're going to want to look into is anything that has to do with aerospace, going into space, rockets. Elon's company is going to come out pretty soon on the stock market. You're going to want to get on that. But there's a lot of businesses that he works with that if you buy now, they're going to go up. So that's what you want to look at. Hey, Scott, how you doing?
So Jupiter will be going into the 9th house. The reason why the stock market is doing so well is because Jupiter's in the 8th house in the U.S. chart, which is other people's money. That's the stock market. That'll be till about July. Then it moves into the 9th house of the court systems. June, July. So you're going to see a lot of court issues, judges, courts, Supreme Court stuff in June and July.
That's interesting because I just saw a story and I have to verify. I haven't verified it yet. But one of the Supreme Court judges, I don't know which one it was, got busted in an affair. That's going to affect his whole, if it's true, it's going to affect that whole career. It could affect cases that he's judged on. People, if you're in a position like that, it's like Swalwell. You don't do that kind of stuff. You don't. You live your life. If you're not happy, you change your life. Okay. If you're not happy with your wife, you get a divorce. You're not happy with your husband, you get a divorce.
Yeah.
Or you try to work through it. You communicate and work through it together. You don't just go out, especially when you're in the public's eye 24/7, and you sure as hell don't take videos of when you're doing it or let somebody else do it.
It's about he's I looked at his chart because Cindy and I have Libra stelliums. What does that mean? That's if you have a house in your natal chart that's got 3 or more planets in Libra in a certain house.
Yeah.
Well, right now with all this Aries energy, Libra and Libra rising, that's the sign that's getting completely whacked because all of this Aries energy is opposing Libra.
Yep.
So I thought, I'm going to look at his chart, right? He's got a Libra stellium right now. He's a Scorpio, go figure, Scorpio, but his Libra stellium is in the 11th house. Guess
11.
what that is? That's Congress. In mundane astrology, that's Congress. So Saturn, which is the karma, the planet of karma, is in his 11th house. Transiting Saturn is opposing his natal Saturn right now. So as soon as that happened, that was the karma train pulling into the station, and boom, he got nailed.
Yeah.
He's got Pluto stuff going on too. So everything that dredging up the swamp stuff.
They're also saying that Pelosi knew about everything and he was starting to change some of his views, and she pulled the and said, nope, we got to get this out. We got to take him down. We got to get rid of him.
He, any female will tell you this. If you have a creeper in the workplace, women talk about creepers. Creepers are not kept under the rug. Everybody knows and can spot a creeper a mile away. Now, I'm not going to say you're still innocent until proven guilty, though.
Exactly. This, a bunch of it can be made up with AI anymore. Who knows?
Who knows? Because I'll tell you what, these people, they did this to Biden. They did it to Bernie Sanders. Trump. They did it to, but these people are vicious. And they apparently wanted him out of the governor race of California. So I in a way, I kind of am looking at his chart thinking, well, look at that. But on the other hand, I'm looking at, well, look at how vicious these people, when they want you out, they're like Rottweilers.
They will take you out.
Look what they did to President Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't have gotten any more vicious than that.
No.
I mean, and I'm just saying.
They used and abused him. And
I thought it was terrible how he was treated.
I didn't care for his policies.
No.
But I don't like anybody. I don't like seeing anybody suffer like that. I don't care who they are. I don't like.
No. It's like so we'll have to watch it play out. My whole question is, why wait? I get it if you're a victim and you're afraid and you think he's got power. Why did you wait? What, 7-8 years? I get it, but timing. Yeah. So, but the planets lined up for that in his chart.
Yep.
It's all there. So, but when we get, this week we got Uranus. Okay, so we got space. We've got big aha moments. So in your chart, on your if you're an Aries rising, it's going to be hitting your 3rd house of communications, right? That's a perfect place for Uranus to go into in Gemini, because it's technology, it's talking, it's speaking.
That's interesting.
It's
because right now, happening right now, there's official reports of this. The movie Star Wars. Well, guess what?
What?
It's here. We have satellites up there that can attack other satellites. Russia has what they call nesting dolls. It's one satellite they put up there, and then there's another satellite attached to it. It can release that. It's got a different purpose. And then that satellite's got a smaller satellite that can release for another purpose. Okay. So it's like nesting dolls. You know, you open one, there's another one. You open that one, there's another one. And the US and the French have had targeted exercises to where they use these satellites to do things, protect things. One satellite can take out another satellite. They can either do it through direct energy weapons, lasers, or they can do it by simply sending that satellite into another one. The Chinese have been doing a lot of studying and surveying with their own satellites up there. They've been watching ours. They know which satellites do what. So it's going to get very interesting up there. If you think Star Wars stuff can't happen, the technology is here.
Oh yeah, it is. It's here. It's been here. If you are a Taurus rising, it's going into your 4th house of home. That's funny. Gemini rising, going into your 5th house. That's a fun house for that to be going into for Gemini. Cancer going into your 6th house of health and day-to-day. So see, everybody's going to be getting a nice little boost with the husband lightsaber. I'm telling you.
Give it time.
Leo rising, going into your 7th house of marriage, partnerships. That could be like a new relationship, like boom, out of the blue, dating somebody that you've never dated before like that. You're going, wow, how'd that happen? Virgo in your 8th house of transformation. Let's see, who's next? Libra, 9th house. Libra rising, 9th house. Travel, higher education, higher mind. Libra, Scorpio in your 10th house of career. Scorpio rising. Sag rising in your 11th house of friends. Capricorn in your 12th house. What's hidden, karma. Who's Aquarius in your 1st house of self, Pisces in your 2nd house of money. So all of those areas for those different rising signs, it's where the energy will concentrate. It's going to be neat to watch this because I think it'll come in pretty loud.
Yeah.
I think because he's been tied up for 7 years going, this is boring. I want to raise some hell.
This is BS. Let me go.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch the open enemies too. Yeah, open enemies of the United States. I think it's pretty cool to watch. Now, what else do we? Oh, okay, the 23rd. Oh, 3 days. 3 days. Watch this. The sun has moved into Taurus. So the sun is out of Aries, which gives us a little bit more stability. Okay.
More grounding.
But it's from Thursday all through the weekend and through Tuesday. It's going to be squaring Pluto. Sun square Pluto. This is power struggles. This is exposing the truth. This is the truth coming out. This is problems with authority figures, power struggles, but it's also heightened mental focus. Be careful. That's going to be one of those times that you be careful of your surroundings as well.
And your own mind.
Well, yeah, Pluto is power. Sharp tongue, be careful. That will be the end of, on the about the 28th, we go into some really pretty Venus cycles. We're done with the Aries stuff.
Venus is good.
Venus is good. Venus is trining Pluto. It's just the end of the month is great. It starts out very, very calm.
Good.
We're over it. This is the last weekend. But just be very mindful of this weekend. This is a lot of exposure too. You know, the sun brings out everything. This is the sun will be bringing out stuff from the swamp again.
And it needs to. We need to drain that swamp.
I think that swamp is a lot deeper than anybody even imagined.
It is. It really is. And that's what people don't understand is how deep it actually is.
Lord.
We're not just talking government officials. I mean, we're talking in Freemasonry, when you get to the 33rd and the 3rd degree, the top tier, that's when they pull you aside and say, hey, we've got this over here. Do you wanna? That's the darker side of things.
It's terrible.
That communicates with other groups, which communicate with other groups. I mean, this is, you have no idea how deep this goes.
Oh, it's
in
deep.
Order to dig it up, it takes time. It takes time. They got to build the cases. They got to get the evidence. But all of a sudden, one day, arrest.
Oh, that's going to be June that's going to be June.
Yeah.
That's going to be June when Jupiter moves into the 9th house.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
May, actually, Pluto goes into retrograde in May. We have a couple of squares, but it's nothing like what we're seeing now. And June is very, very, with the exception of a Mercury retrograde, June is extremely quiet and calm. June is.
Good.
Well, then it amps up back into July. So rest up. Mid-May. May still has a couple Pluto going retrograde. But it's not bad. We've got a Mars square Pluto in there at the end of the month. Been through those.
Yeah.
But June is very quiet, and then we amp up for July. Then we get to August. Then we're pretty well done for the year, past August.
Something's going to happen in July. I don't know what yet, but something big is going to happen in July.
It's that pentagram. I got to still look at that. It's the pentagram. It's 5 point. It's the 5 stars, and it's going to be Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, and the Moon in Libra. So the two, Jupiter and Libra, are really good. The Moon coming in Libra, I don't know what that's going to be like, but we'll have to wait and see.
And one thing we got to think about is Mr. Odell. How you doing, sir? Founder of the RNN Network in the house himself. How you doing? Thanks for popping on. One thing we got to think about is right and wrong. Okay, what I think is right and wrong can be completely different from somebody that's hardcore left. Maybe because what I think is wrong is making them money, so they think it's right. It's how we're raised. It is what we experience going through school. It's what we experience in our relationships. It affects how we think. So if you want to look at right and wrong, you need to do the shadow work. You need to delve into yourself.
Right.
You need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, okay, why do I think this is right when everybody says it's wrong? Or vice versa. But you need to understand yourself. Right. And what brought you to think like this from childhood till now. You know, I'm 56 years old. Everything I experienced from the day I was born affected me, taught me how to think. And one day I said, you know what? I'm going to think for myself. And that's what you need to do. You need to think for yourself. Mm-hmm. So you understand yourself. Then when you understand yourself, you can begin to understand others. Because if you can't understand yourself, you ain't going to understand anybody else. because you're not going to spend the time to sit there and listen to them in order to understand where they're at in their life. You're going to hear them in order to argue with them in order to win an argument. No. Win a debate. No. Have a discussion so you both can learn.
That's right.
If two people, co-workers, husband, wife, I don't give, can actually have a conversation. Okay, this is where I'm at, and this is why. Okay, well, this is where I'm at and why. Let's look at the differences. Let's see. Maybe there's a middle ground. We got a new coworker today. He's into the paranormal.
Cool.
But he's a talker, which it's fine. I can deal with that. But we got to pay attention to the machines. We got to listen to the sounds of the machines. We got to do this and do that. And when I'm trying to train the guy and he's talking about the Sally house and that, I'm like, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Right now, we're doing this. I'm training you on how to remove this stuck part from this machine. We're not going to talk about Sally house. So it's a learning process. I'm learning. He's learning. We'll learn together. We'll find a balance. But he's a talker. And you know how much I love talkers.
Yeah. Scorpios don't like ramblers.
No.
But that's a big lesson too, that it's like, okay, I can handle this. I don't have to shut them off. You know what I mean? But you just gotta, Uranus is really our last big push. Well, July's big. But I think Uranus shifting into Gemini is going to really throw some people off, because we're going from earth to air and to where it was quiet and calm. And now once again, we're speeding up again. So we've got things that are just, and Vicky and I were talking about today, can't believe it's already April. It's like the end of April.
Yeah, today's the 20th.
Yeah, we're like, what?
I thought last year went fast. Yeah. Holy shit.
I know.
Holy shit.
I know. And it's funny too. I did a chart back on April the 2nd. Well, a baby was born on April the 2nd. And the more I dug into the chart, the more I kept saying, okay, here it is. All of the babies that are being born now are coming in under the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. All of these aspects that we've said, we've not seen this for 14,000 years. We've not seen this for 8,000 years. All of these babies, this whole generation, I know, are all being born underneath of this umbrella of these phenomenal aspects. And I thought, wait a minute.
Now,
these are the new Earth babies.
Let's look a little closer.
Yeah.
Let's look a little closer, because as they're being born into this time, they are not getting 72 inoculations anymore. They have dropped it to either 11 or 14.
Good.
Like what we had when we were kids. Okay. Actually, I think we had a few more, but that is going to assist this generation in retaining their gifts and getting better health and being able to learn and accept their gifts.
Right.
And so we really need to train these little ones growing up.
They're not going to need it. They will be training the elderly people. These kids that are being born right now are beyond super psychics. The word psychic is not in their vocabulary. This is how extraordinary these children are.
It's just them. But they need to have someone to look up to. If you want to be a mathematician, you have to have somebody to look up to in order to train you how to be a mathematician. If you want to be a light worker, dark worker, whatever, you need to have somebody to train you to look up to in order to learn, because you're not just going to know how to remove something from somebody
I would take issue with that just by looking at their chart, because the kids that are being born that started under that magic triangle back in 2025 are beyond children on what we've ever seen. They're not.
Yes.
They're not within this world. This is a whole. This is the new world. This is the new world. It's not the people that are here now. It's the ones that are coming in.
Yeah.
I'm positive now. Now that I'm looking at their charts, I know it already.
And they have us to learn from. And half the people out there, we don't want them teaching these kids.
They're not going to need it. I'm telling you, they're that much. It's that advanced from what they're coming in here. I'm telling you, I looked at this baby's chart and I was blown away. I mean, psychic doesn't even fit in the vocabulary of what these children being born are.
Yes.
There's not a word for them.
Different type of pharaoh. I like that.
I don't even have the word for what they are. They're not of what any generation has ever seen.
It's okay. We've talked about the new Earth, the 3D versus the 5D. And for a while, you really didn't understand what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about.
They are 5D.
Yes.
They're being born. They're 5D born.
Yeah. They are being born
without a question.
They don't have to work through the 3D in order to move up to the 5D. They're just here. I'm here.
That's right. Wait until you see, and there's going to be a very small window of those. The smallest window of those babies will be born with the moon in Libra. That's going to top off that pentagram, because you have to remember the moon moves every 2.5 hours. So those babies, when the moon in Libra hits 4 degrees on that pentagram, it will move very quickly out of that space. So those children born like mid-July around that pentagram, holy crap. What is that going to be?
Yeah.
And there, I mean, the other little ones now are within the magic triangle, but the magic triangle will be exact on the 4th of July. So that's a whole nother new little batch of them. I mean, they're coming in waves.
Yeah.
And their different abilities are coming into different waves. Like the ones that were born under the Great Conjunction, Saturn, Neptune, are going to be the leaders.
It's almost like different star seeds coming in at different times.
That's exactly right.
The Palladians coming in here.
It's completely, it's a complete different set of what they'll be able to do. They're not going to all be the same. No, I'm telling you, they're going to be teaching us.
Well, that may be, but they need some kind of guidance growing up in order to find themselves.
I'm telling you, God, it's nothing I have ever seen.
And that's very possible. That is absolutely 100% possible.
I'm telling you, I saw it with this chart. And what happened is when I did Hadley and Hagen's chart, that little group, and they're like 12 and 16 now, that age group is very gifted as well. But this group that's being born now is so advanced.
Yeah.
In every way. But they're all going to be different levels, because you're going to have one with a different rising.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all going to have those gifts in different areas. It's where some will, it's amazing.
Jan, write those dreams down in a notebook and a journal and keep them.
Well, she's coming to her already. I'll tell you exactly what it is. That little one, this is what I'm talking about, Jan. These little ones are so advanced now. She's coming to Grandma already. Hi, Grandma.
But
She's probably going to give you her Christmas list.
What I was going to get at, Jan, is these dreams you're having about, you're playing with her and walking with her and stuff like that. Write those down in a journal and keep doing that. And then
give it to her.
As that child grows up, go back and read them, and I'll bet they come true. Oh,
yeah. And I'll bet you any other grandmas out there, because I'll tell you, there's such a weird bond between a grandma and grandchildren. It's a different kind of a bond that you have with your own children. And it just is. And make no mistake, she's reaching out already. It's hilarious because I gave grandma this chart and I said, well, I cannot. I did like a write-up on the generational thing about it. And I thought I need to write about this because the parents that these little ones are going to be around are going to be going, uh-oh. It's going to be like how the parents have to deal with these kids that are just going to be so off the cuff.
Oh, and they're going to be right in your face. You're wrong. I'm not talking to you. And they're going to bolt.
Well, they're going to be talking to each other without even opening their mouths. And so the parents are going to have a harder time understanding it more so than the kids will understand it.
Well, because a lot of the parents will not be gifted. They will have no idea what is going on. They don't even know what a gift is. They're doing 9 to 5, going to work, coming home, making supper, doing the homework, blah, blah, blah. They're not expanding themselves. They're not growing themselves. They're going to have no idea how to properly raise that child. They are going to brainwash that child into thinking ghosts do not exist, spirits do not exist, gifts do not exist. And that's happened in the past. Guess what? It does exist. And you need to work with that child in order to grow it and not turn the key off.
Well, this is a different, this is something I've never seen. And we can look back 14,000 years, but I know because I've already looked at one of them's chart, and I knew it when I was doing the chart, and I was like, oh crap, I didn't think of this. But it's really neat. I need to look at, what, Jan? The minute she's born, send me her birth info and let me look at her chart so I can start to compare, because I've got one already. I've got a couple more, but it'd be good to have these little charts so I can look at them and see who's going to be who and what. But they're all going to be close. But they're all like the 2025s up to 2029 are within the magic triangle. But each one of them is going to be like the ones born under the pinnacle it's going to be off the cuff. And then the ones that were born under the Great Conjunction, it's crazy. It's neat.
It's cool. It is. This world is going to change. It's going to change for the better.
Oh yeah.
It's going to change for the better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If we don't do it, our visitors from out there will assist us in doing it.
Well,
that's one reason why all this astrology is happening right now.
Yeah.
This is spirit. This is the universe saying, hey, we're going to set these planets up to help you. If you choose to use it to your advantage, yay team. That's what we want. If you fight it, well, you're going to learn some more lessons.
Yeah.
And when we evolve into the 5D world, the 3D worlders are going to get stuck down here for another 25,960 year cycle, the succession of the equinoxes. And when we pass on, screw that. We're going home.
I know. I'm not.
We're done. We are
Let
done.
them stay there. Let the bottom feeders stay there. I don't care. The carp can stay there. But it's interesting to look at their little charts. And
now,
I mean,
carp, it's a bottom feeder. But I don't like the taste of carp, and it has a lot of bones. You got to cook it just right. But catfish is the bottom feeder. But oh my
Yeah.
God, catfish is tasty. It is. I like catfish.
I
I don't
remember
like to be
that
catfished.
they used to eat. I mean, we used to eat catfish out of the Ohio River. Of course, you can't now, but
Yes.
back in the day, you could. But yeah, they will.
Yes.
It'll be neat, Jan. It's neat that you got a little one coming. It's really neat. It's so cool, and you just spot them. And
She's a
these,
great baby queen.
oh, and I'll tell you what. And now these little ones, all this Aries, this whole little batch of little Aries with 6 and 7 planets in Aries. Oh my God. I can't imagine being a teacher in a classroom with all that Aries. They'll be beating each other. They'll be beating each other up.
Yeah, Renee, I am right with you on that. I am right with you on that.
It's the whole, but here's the whole thing. They're not doing it. It's the whole generation. It's all of them. So it's going to be like all the people that were out during the hippie fest in Woodstock. Everybody was all on one page. They were all together.
Yeah.
That's how this little clump of little ones is going to be.
But the GOV did not want those people delving out the secrets that they were trying to delve out. And they are trying to, some of them are trying to hold those secrets now, but others are trying to reveal them.
That's been destroyed. It's gone.
The CIA and their mind experiments, the movie, the Men Who Stared at Goats, that happened. Can't think of the words. Looking somewhere else in time to see what happened, or looking over here in Russia to see what they're doing. Can't think of the name. Renee's going to pop it up here. But it's a thing. Remote viewing. Thank you, Renee. She popped it in here. It's real. People do it. It's a thing. We are able to do that if we allow ourselves and train ourselves. But the GOV wanted that to happen for them, but they didn't want us, the general public, to know that we could do that. Jesus even said, "You will do the things I have done and even more."
Yeah.
We will grow. He was an ascended master, is what he was. He went to Japan and China and learned Reiki. He went to Egypt and learned the secrets of Egypt. He went to these places and studied. When he was missing in the Bible, he was out there studying, and then he came back to share his learnings. He was trying to teach us that we can be divine. We are divine. We are created in our Creator's image. The Creator was divine. We are also divine. We can do what he did and more if we apply ourselves in order to learn about ourselves and learn about others and learn how the universe works, the astrology, the people who built the pyramids. They knew astrology, they knew mathematics, they knew much more than we know now. But yet those people disappeared. We're still looking at that, but we're getting new evidence. There are structures under every pyramid.
Sure there are.
Every one of them. Under the Sphinx. They found a second Sphinx now. It's more eroded, but it's there. The discoveries that we are going to be making in the near future is going to mesmerize everybody. And Trump wants that information given out. He wants to.
It'll get out. That's why Constantine got rid of astrology out of the Bible and his merry men. I mean, yes. So they just didn't want the people to have the power. That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
It's like Lisa, the almighty sound effects lady. She was at investigation we were doing, and I was working on somebody, Ricky, and she could physically see my hands glowing. Just like the picture of, I got a picture of Steve when he was working from the Spirit Mechanics. He was working on something and his hands were glowing. Mine were glowing. She tried to get her camera out in time, but she didn't get it. But while I've been on the show before the fire, people said they saw my head glowing. There was somebody standing behind me with wings. It's a thing. It happens. I'm thankful for that. I'm proud of that. If I really apply myself and believe in myself, I can do what I set out to do. It's just that self-doubt, that what if, because I have been trained in that what if. You can't do this. Well, I'm going to try. And then I start thinking, what if I can't? No, you don't know how you're going to do it, but you're going to do it. You'll figure it out. You always do.
Well, that's Aries. That's all the Aries. Aries is I am.
I am in a lot of those situations right now of I need to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure it out. One of those is finishing my house. One of those is quitting this. But this last week, I have really made an effort, even though I haven't on the show tonight because I'm talking and whatnot. But I am paying attention. I am cutting down. I have a little notebook.
Good.
Tally mark every time I have one, so I can see how many I have per day. And then I can think back, okay, what triggered that one? What triggered that one? I'm actually making a conscious effort in order to understand what is keeping me in survival mode when I want to get to living mode. I want to, I've survived for too long. It's time for me to live, and I need to figure out how to do it.
Well, that's easy.
That is, hang on. That is my eating habits. That is my smoking, drinking. Just gonna say it. Just saying. I don't hide nothing about myself. Job, income. I mean, I got to figure everything out one thing at a time. That's how I quit things. One thing at a time. That's how I start things. One thing at a time. So I need to X out the things that I used to use for survival and bring in new things that I want to use for living. Going fishing more again. Going for a walk around the lake again. Going out to the lake to pick up trash. Going down to the river to pick up trash. Just going for a Sunday drive out in the country on the gravel roads. I don't do that anymore, and I want to do it again. But I want to find somebody to do it with. But I can also do it by myself and still enjoy myself.
For sure.
I'm a Scorpio. I love to be alone. But I often say, but I want to find somebody that also wants to be alone, but wants to be alone with somebody. And a lot of people can't understand that.
Then meet a Scorpio girl.
But it makes perfect sense.
That makes sense to hook up with a Scorpio girl because they would understand that. That would be a good match. A Scorpio. I need to do that dating thing, but
I have thought the past couple weeks about trying to jump on a dating site again. But then again, the past experiences pop in my head. That was a really nasty experience because, this person was trying to catfish you. You saw the red flags, though. You caught it. Good job. There are so many scammers on there, and people just get your money. It's nuts. And with the filters they use these days, I had a paranormal friend, on Facebook, and I actually finally got to meet her at Scarefest, and she came up and said, "Hello, hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, who are you?" I did not recognize her. I did not recognize her, and she said, "Oh, I'm so and so," and I almost slipped and said, "You need to put your filter on."
Really? It was that obvious?
She looked nothing like nothing. If you want to actually meet a real person, stop using filters. Not just on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, but in real life.
Yeah.
You need to be yourself. You need to be who you are. You need to be honest with this person about who you are and what you believe in, what your beliefs are. You need to be honest. But the the biggest person you need to be honest with is yourself.
That's right.
Okay, you know what? I look in the mirror. Guess what? I got wrinkles. You know what? Those are trophies for shit that I've survived. If you don't like them, that's fine. That is fine. I'm okay with them. I'm going to get some more. I'm 56. I'm getting up there. I'm going to get some more gray. I got gray here. Couple up here. But up until, I mean, my dad never did get gray. We just had my aunt's funeral. I was talking to my cousins. They're the same way. It's the Ottersberg. It's the German. You don't get gray. You do in the beard a little bit, but up here, no, you keep your hair color. It's just a thing. Now watch, since I said that.
Yeah, you're turning all gray.
But you have to be honest with yourself about who you are before you can make a designation about what kind of person you want to be with. Because
try the dating site again.
Hang on. If you don't, you're going to keep getting the repeating cycles.
Yep.
And you're not going to see that it's a repeating cycle until you get into that relationship. And then they get comfortable enough. Oh, I got him. I can take my mask off. And then you're screwed.
Yeah. You should try it. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Wisdom lines. I like that. Yeah. To be honest, dating scares the hell out of me because I know people. I can read people now a lot better than I used to. Scrolling through the line on Facebook, people you may know. No. Going through dating sites. No. Walking through Walmart, going to the bowling alley, going to the grocery store. Oh, she's cute. No. I watch, I listen, I feel, and I make a decision. No. Or, okay, that's a maybe. I'm going to walk down that aisle and say hi. And then the husband comes around the corner. Okay, fine.
Whoops. That's funny. Well, listen, hon, I'm going to run off of here so I can get some stuff done.
Okay.
But enjoy this week. Enjoy Uranus coming. It'll be a fun week.
Yes.
It'll be an exciting time.
If you look at it that way, it will be.
It will be. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be a neat shift. I can't wait. It's going to be a good one.
I woke up late this morning. I stayed up a little too late thinking, and I woke up a little late, but I still had plenty of time to get to work. But I didn't have enough time to sit and veg. That's what I call it, vegging. Going through my notifications, looking for positive quotes, stuff like that, just to get my day started. And like, okay, it's Monday. I'm like, oh, wait, it's Monday. It's a new day. It's a new week. It's new adventures. Let's do this. And I pulled in the parking lot at work. I'm like, okay, I got a new guy to train today. It's going to be a good day. I just kept reinforcing positive things. And it was a good day, except for the constant, but I'll get that taken care of.
Yeah.
There's a time for working and there's a time for bullshitting. And he'll learn that. So I get to teach, which I like teaching. I do. That's one thing I try to do on here, is I try to teach people how to get through the astrology, which you graciously share with us. I appreciate that. But you got to know how to get through it as it comes. And that's just like life. You got to know how to get through it as it comes at you. And sometimes if something bad happens to you, you just got to throw your hands up in the air and yell, plot twist, and keep going.
Yep. That's all you can do. Especially now.
Yes.
So. Well, honey, have a great week. Enjoy Thursday. 5 days. 425. 5 days.
425.
425, 426 in some areas.
425.
26.
Saturday and Sunday this weekend.
Is it Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday, 25th and 26th.
It'll be a crazy weekend. It'll be a fun weekend. It'll be an unexpected weekend.
I will be okay with that. Just saying.
Yep. It'll be fun because
So maybe I should go out and
up.
do something. Maybe I should go to a movie or take myself out to eat.
Absolutely. Do something different.
It's payday. What the hell?
Do something different. Out of the norm. Because that's what that energy likes.
Ooh, go fishing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Likes stuff like that. And it'll be hitting your third house of communications. That's a good place for it to be.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I'll tell you, if you're a Pisces rising, going into the second house, I would play the lottery because it's unexpected. It's unexpected things.
Oh, it would be very unexpected if I won. Now, you told me to buy a lottery ticket on the 12th.
Yeah.
I did.
And
I spent about $30 on Powerball, the Mega Millions, and a couple of scratch offs. And I won $15.
Well, that's good.
Well, I'm still down $15, but I did win. So I got to look at that. And I thank Spirit. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That'll buy my next. I reduced. I've been meaning to do this for a long time. I reduced the number of games and I adjusted my numbers that I've been playing. So I cut the cost of those two, the Powerball and the Mega Millions, in half. And then I won $15.
That's cool. Anytime Jupiter and Venus are together, you play the lottery. The two lucky ones. So
somebody's got to win it. It might as well be me.
That's right. Well, have a great couple weeks.
You too.
Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye.
We'll see you. All righty. I'm going to probably hop off of here too. I got some things I got to get done tonight. I've got pork chops sitting on the top of the stove cooling down. I got to get in the fridge, stuff like that. So next week will be me, Jan, and Renee talking about life. I may try to pop a guest on. I'm not sure. I got to get a hold of them and see if they're available. If not, it will be just we'll pick a subject and just roll with it. So if you haven't, go check out the Otter's Den YouTube page. Click that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you get the notifications of when we are coming on. I'm thinking about trying to go live on TikTok and Instagram, but I'm going to have to upgrade the restream. So that's going to be a little, so I got to look at that. But you got to spend money to make money, right? So on that note, you all have a good evening. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next Monday.
Hello, and welcome to the Otter's Den. Grab your favorite beverage and snacks, grab a seat, and delve into the known and the unknown. We have shows every other Monday and every other Monday. Let me explain. One Monday, Joni and I discuss the current astrology, how it affects us both on personal, countrywide, and global scales, and then how to navigate through it all to improve our overall quality of life. The next Monday, Jan and Renee join me as we discuss, everything. This includes the paranormal, cryptids, psychic abilities, hauntings, attachment, possessions, aliens, abductions, self-help, life coaching, mental health, personal health, and the list goes on. Thank you in advance for joining us. Now it's time to sit back and enjoy.